What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So first things first, I do want to mention I apologize for this going up later. Funny part is I'm not even going to lie, I wasn't even going to post this one. That is going to be the Drift Zone Canyon Sweep. This is going to give you a super wheel spin. It's going to be in the Rally Adventure DLC, and it is going to be S2 at 998 anything goes. Funny part is I was doing this one last night. I wasn't going to upload this, so I do apologize for this video going up later. But I was like, you know what? No, no, no. This one is honestly pretty difficult, bro. So first things first, which vehicle should I use on this? Now, I was going through S2 vehicles and stuff thinking about it. And I feel like, guys, there is probably a good amount of cars you could run on this. Like, for example, the RS200 with the right build, or even some of the other vehicles in the game you probably could run. But you know what vehicle I ran? That is going to be the Ford Hoonicorn Mustang. This thing is going to be legit completely stock. Nothing is done to it. You can buy this car in the auto shop if you do want it, by the way. I think it's 500K, which it kind of says on the bottom. But again, though, nothing is done to this car whatsoever. It's completely stock. When it does come to my overall settings, though, I basically changed a few things, so obviously none of the main things matter. I left the braking on anti-lock there. I have the driving assist on custom. Steering is going to be standard, but traction is off. I turned it on for some of the other vehicles I was using. But for this, though, you are going to want to have that off, and also stability control is off as well. I am going to be running manual, and I would say for drifting, manual is kind of going to be a must. I mean, you're going to have a lot more leeway there with how you could shift and stuff like that. But as I did mention before, though, I wasn't going to upload this one, but I feel like the canyon sweep is going to be fairly difficult. I mean, for one, it's going to be a very tight canyon road, kind of why it's going to be called the canyon sweep. Am I right? Okay, but seriously, bad joke. With this, though, again, I am going to be using a base Hoonicorn, guys. Nothing was done to this vehicle. And then you're going to see 132,000 points on this. You're then going to notice, let me zoom out here, you can kind of see where you have to go. So you start there, you go around the very tight corner there, you come around, you go up the road, and it basically ends around this area here. This one is honestly going to be fairly tough. I'm not even going to lie. I think it took me like 20 different runs. This is also coming from someone who is trying to learn to drift still, and I did not adjust this vehicle because I'm crazy. So I'm like, yo, let me see if I could do it with the car with no settings on it. Turns out it can, but there is going to be a few things I did notice. Now, I am going to show some footage of this in the background, and if you guys want, you can skip ahead to the main thing on the timeline there if you want to check out when I do the run, where I got over 130,000 points to get this, which for this, it is going to be 132. As long as you pass that, you will end up getting it. A few of the things I did notice, so yes, my vehicle is going to be stock. I'm running no TC on it. It's in manual. The biggest thing I noticed about this, and I guess you could say for many of the drift challenges, is going to be the fact of being able to use the e-brake and being able to adjust the car from left to right using the e-brake, but also keeping the car in the slide while doing it. Now, again, I am going to be a new player. I would probably guess that many of the people drifting and stuff probably already do know this, but someone who is going to be using the Hoonicorn and stuff like that, this car is stock. I know you could probably put drift tires or some other stuff on it and probably adjust the car to make it slide even more, but I did want to jump in and see if a stock car can do it, because I do know a lot of people are probably going to be driving different vehicles and testing stuff out. Funny part is, when I was running this that one night, I saw so many people going through this drift event, and the insane part is I legitimately kept seeing the same people over and over going through it, which is obviously going to mean that they were struggling, and yeah, I kind of was too, but that's kind of the whole point of it, is you are probably going to struggle trying to find the right route and right vehicle and all that stuff. But the thing is, though, I was noticing players starting on the end where I am right here, guys, so you can start on this side. If we look at it, it is obviously going to be right about there. So you could start like right around this corner, or you could start around the corner over here. Now, I did end up trying this route. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Can it work? 100%, but did I like that? Not really. So I did end up starting on this side, and I found this side to be much better. Is it going to be super easy? Well, no, it is still going to be a challenge, because we all do know the turns here are going to be very tight, but I was noticing with the Hoonicorn, using the e-brake really made this a lot more manageable, made the car slide easier, and I was noticing on the bigger straightaway toward like the middle of the drift thing before the other second big turn, which is going to be located kind of right over here where the M is on this word. obviously in this area where this other board was. But right there, though, I was able to kind of use the e-brake, slide the car back and forth, gaining more and more points. And basically, I went to the second corner. I was already over 100,000 points. I felt like that was like the best way, kind of slamming the e-brake down, going back and forth. And the Hoonicorn is fantastic. I actually feel like it's kind of one of the best drift cars in S2, like basically right out of the box for that matter. But overall, though, I don't want to keep yapping here, guys. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Here's the run I did end up getting with the Hoonicorn. Again, this car is completely stock, nothing done to it. All I did was turn my TC off and I jumped in, and I did end up getting this one about 20 runs after. Now, again, I'm kind of fairly new to drifting, haven't done a lot with it, but I'm definitely planning more to mess with cars and jump into more drift events.